Everyone knows that feeling, wanting to experience more stories, but struggling to find the time. That's where Audible changes everything. With over 1 million audiobooks and Audible originals, there's a story waiting to spark anyone's imagination. Take The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, the gripping psychological thriller that's keeping listeners on the edge of their seats. Imagine unraveling its mysteries during your morning commute, or losing yourself in its twists and turns while doing household chores. That's the magic of Audible. It transforms daily routines into opportunities for thrilling discoveries. The best part? Members get access to thousands of included titles, with new content added regularly. From bestsellers to hidden gems, every genre imaginable is at their fingertips. And with one easy-to-use app, switching between favorites or discovering new passions has never been simpler. There's more to imagine when you listen. Start a free 30-day Audible trial and get your first audiobook free at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Now it's time for Inspirational Women and my guest, K.A. Cobell, a Northwest writer who brings us her debut novel, Looking for Smoke. In this thriller, K.A. brings a focus to a crisis that is of epidemic proportions, that of missing and murdered Indigenous women. The statistics are utterly staggering as well as gut-wrenching. But unless we're conscious of what is taking place, we're ignorant. K.A. joins us now with some insights into this important new book. K.A. Cobell, good morning. Thank you so greatly for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you and your listeners.
Well, I'm excited to be here with you. What an opportunity to have this connection just as your debut novel, Looking for Smoke, is ready to launch, and you're from the Pacific Northwest, and you're going to be at a couple of book events coming up. So we want to get all of that information out to our listeners so they also can have this important experience of this new book, Looking for Smoke. So you are a writer. This is your debut novel. It's taken a while to get to this point, has it?
Yeah, it has been a journey. Like, this book, I actually wrote about 3 years ago, and I got the book deal about almost 2 years ago. So it has been a long time coming.
So in that time, of course, with our speaking with various authors, they say it really is a process. It's really like giving birth, and there are lots of kind of pains that go along with it. So that's been quite a journey. This last couple of years then has been all the fine tuning, the editing that has come to this final book coming out.
Yeah. So after you write it, you have to go through editing it yourself, and then you get a literary agent, and then you edit it with your agent, and then they help you submit it out to publishers, and you hopefully get a book deal, and then you edit it some more with your new editor.
Wow, that is a journey. But here it is. I mean, it's all worked positively. And so what is your feeling as, in a couple of days, you're going to see this book out on bookshelves?
It's still really surreal. It's hard to explain. Like, I'm so excited, and I've been waiting so long, but then at the same time, it feels so sudden. Like, am I ready for this? But I think I am. It's really exciting. I think it's going to be just such a great feeling to just see it out there on the shelves and see people picking it up and reading it.
And I'm excited for people to do it. I lean towards thrillers as one genre that I appreciate, and so this fulfills that. And in the context of that, it has all the elements of being a thriller. I think there's the pain of it, though, because we're dealing with protagonists who are so young. We're dealing with teenagers. But yet that's so real and important to write about. Was that, how did that come to you, K.A.?
When I first got this idea, it was because I wanted to write Blackfeet teenagers into a book. Because one, I didn't see that growing up. And two, because I have so much pride in my Blackfeet culture. So I wanted to show that. And I am a thriller writer, so uh, that's just what I gravitate to as well. I love reading it and I love writing it. And so I kind of found my groove with young adult thrillers. So I knew it was going to be a thriller. And with that, because I'm writing Native American characters, that brings in the epidemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women, which is a huge issue in our country where Native women are the victims of violent crime far more often than any other group. So it all kind of came together into this story where I knew I was going to need to write about that because I was writing about Native teens in this context.
And seeing themselves, the teens who are Native, and yes, this is in the Blackfeet culture, but I think it's still, by being Native, it can have that cross effect that any teenager, any person who is Native, I'm not Native, but I appreciated the story. So I think that would probably translate.
Yeah, it brings in a lot of relatable emotions. Everyone will feel that loss and that sadness, the grief, and also the hope that the characters bring in through all of that. I think it's really just relatable for anybody.
That it is. And well, saying that you need to, or felt that desire, the need to bring in Native culture for youth. And I think we hear this so much more recently about when we read, we want to see characters like ourselves. So this really is fulfilling that. And I would think, or have you had a chance to have any pre-read the book to get a sense of that feeling from them?
Yeah, I have. I've been able to see a few reviews and a few friends who are Native who read it and just said, like, I wish I had had this. And I'm thinking of all these kids back home on my reservation who are going to connect with this so much. And there's a lot of excitement, which is really, one of the goals when you write a book like this.
Right. And it's bringing forth, as you said, a very harsh topic, a harsh, not just topic, a harsh reality of life of missing and murdered Indigenous women, and which of course needs to be highlighted. I don't know, do we even hear kind of a scant reference to it at all in headlines and news stories?
Sometimes it's getting better, I think. There are more eyes on the issue, but we need more. We need more people talking about it because the numbers are devastating, and I can share some.
Yes.
If you want. Yeah. So like I said, Native women experience violent crime far more often. The murder rate of these Native women is 3 times more than that of white women. And in some locations, it's more than 10 times the national average. And in Montana, where Looking for Smoke is set, Natives are 4 times more likely to go missing.
So you're looking at national statistics, and yet in Montana, it's that much higher?
Yeah.
Why would that be? Does that trigger any kind of alarms as to the state, the people, the conditions? What is it?
Yeah, it's hard to know the root cause. I think a lot of us are wondering, but we're trying to raise awareness so that we can have change. And I know in Montana, they did create, the state of Montana created a missing and murdered Indigenous persons task force to try to help combat the issue at the legal level and the federal level. And I actually have a family member who was on that task force. And so he was a bit of an expert source for me as I wrote Looking for Smoke, so I could make sure that I was getting things right and how the investigations might go.
And his reaction to the book, was he feeling like you got the essence of it?
Yeah, he stayed up till like 4 in the morning reading it one night. He loved it, and he was a lot of help trying to get the details just right.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, I'm no expert that way, except as a reader who loves good stories, and this has all the elements of that. I mean, it was so gripping. It is a page turner. I wasn't up till 4 because I did I did fall asleep as I was reading, but then I woke up and then I was reading again. So, take that as a way of, knowing that it's really important. We just get tired sometimes, right? Eyes wear
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah, I need a little break.
Yeah. But the book, Looking for Smoke, and I love the way that Looking for Smoke weaves its way through the story and really has a great deal of meaning there just in itself. So going back though to Montana and this, that is where the crisis, the epidemic is so much greater, but it's happening everywhere, and bringing this to light really is crucial for us because awareness is really what's needed, and it helps towards finding the solution. True?
Yes, definitely true. That's the reason that I wrote this into a story. I hope that my readers come away with a better understanding of the issue and a desire to learn how they can help and how they can keep spreading and shining the light on the issue.
And as you say that, certainly reading the book heightens awareness. Okay, so now we have this sense of I need to do something. What is it I can do? I guess there are many avenues. There are many ways to really find something, and we find where we feel drawn, or we feel we have some some information or some kind of experience or expertise.
Yeah, I think, learning about it is the first step, and then talking about it, that is really important, I think. So that's what I'm trying to do, talk about it. And there are a lot of organizations who are doing a lot to help. You can donate to these places, and you can find them on my website, which is kacobell.com. I have a list of resources where you can learn more, and you can find the organizations that, if you want to donate or if you want to find ways you can help through them, they're supporting the communities, they're supporting women who may have been victims, and they're doing a lot of great work, and that's another way that we can help.
Great. So all of that on the website, as you mentioned it, and another way for us to get more insight and connect even with each other. What's really exciting, because it's been a while since we've had these in-person book events going on. At least that's my kind of feeling about it. But you're going to be at one of the Seattle bookstores coming up this week on Friday evening, right?
Yeah, it's the Barnes and Noble Northgate at 6 p.m. on June 7th. And I'll be in conversation with Sherry Priest, and then a book signing after that.
So mark that on your calendars, because I think coming together to learn and to hear about this really is a way for us to also build community among ourselves, finding a neighbor, a friend, or making a new friend, and this connection and working together.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. It's definitely nice to connect with people who, have the same love of reading.
That too. And also, so that's on Friday. You're going to be in Olympia. So if anyone's in the Olympia area on Saturday afternoon, you'll also have a book appearance there.
Yeah, I'll be at Browsers at 2:00 with Vanessa Torres.
And I am not familiar with either of these women. What is their connection here?
They live in the area, and Vanessa has a really great story called The Turning Point, and I know she has another one coming out soon. And Sherry has a lot of books, and I think she's award-winning, and so she's someone that I can look up to who's written a lot. She's been doing just so much in the publishing world.
So this is great. Authors co-hosting a book event and really making it very interesting and informative for any of us who are there that day.
Yeah, we'll probably be talking about my book a lot, but about our different writing processes and how we might be different from each other, and similarities we might share in how we've got these books out there.
Well, thinking about writing process, I'm thinking specifically right now about the teenagers that are in Looking for Smoke. And it's really interesting to me that the way that you bring them to us with each of their individual voices and experiences of certain days and events going on. And I just really appreciated how they really evolved and became so real to me. Is that a new method for you, or is this the way that has worked for you as you've been doing writing?
This was the first book where I actually wrote multiple points of view, and four of them, five if you count the little mystery unknown POV. So that was new, and it was a little hard to figure out at first, but it was really fun because I think that is what makes a lot of thrillers so engaging and exciting, is because when they have the multiple points of view, we might be hearing one thing from a character in their head, but they're doing something different, or we see the secrets they're keeping from each other. And it just really adds to the tension for me. So it was really fun to go back and forth and figure out how to hide the lies. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, it's great to hear you say it was fun, because reading it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is like twisting and turning and trying to think through, like, how is this working? And I think that's part of the fun, the enjoyment in reading, is trying to figure these things out, maybe before the conclusion. And you certainly, I'm glad that you had so much fun doing it, because it really is an entertaining way to get to know the characters and to try to figure out what is actually going on.
Yeah, and one of my goals, and what I hope is how this book is after you read it and you get to the end, you're like, what? And then you want to read it again and find the places where you're like, oh, okay.
Yes, exactly. To just find those little nuances, because we know they're there, but just how did I miss that particular thing? So, yeah, it's really amazing. And as I said, these teenagers, all the characters, but they are the main ones. How they come to life is feeling so real. You really are very expert at that, I feel.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I tried really hard to build each of these characters from a real place. So they're inspired by a lot from my own life that I put into them, because writing a book about Blackfeet, I really wanted to do it right. And I wanted the setting to feel authentic, and I wanted the characters to feel whole and real, and just each of them honoring our culture in a different way.
And it is interesting, and maybe this is where you relate to one of the characters, because you say that you are biracial. So one of the characters is. So did you find perhaps more of a connection with her?
Yeah, probably. So, yeah, that character's name is Mara, and she is struggling to find where she fits. She's dealing with just feeling a bit like an outsider and kind of wondering, am I Blackfeet enough? And that is something that I wondered, as I was writing this book. Am I the right person to tell this story? Because I am Blackfeet, but I'm also white. I did not grow up on the reservation, but we visit all the time, and my dad lives there now. Like, I had a lot of questions about myself, I'll say, as I'm writing it. And so I do think a lot of that came out with this character, Mara. So I hope a lot of other readers can also connect with her. And because I think that is a common question. Am I enough of anything? Am I enough this? Am I talented enough? Am I native enough? So yeah, that came out. And I think it hopefully is relatable.
It feels relatable. It's for the characters who are residents on the reservation. they also feel relatable. I guess, at the core, we're all human. We're all human beings, humans becoming, that we can relate in that way. But it is important to acknowledge the cultural differences and how society puts all these strains on us. And I think this helps us to perhaps see that humanity of each other and maybe peel those surfaces away.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes down to the emotions they're feeling. We can connect with that no matter who they are, what they're going through, the things they're feeling, that connects all of us. We've all been through things that make us hurt and feel loss or joy or hope.
Yes. And I experiencing the violence, the murders that take place, tragically is a situation that I think so many people can also relate to because of how just in general in society we're seeing so much of that violence take place. And I hope this brings up that conversation too as to what we can and what we need to do about that, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Because it's hard for everyone. You're right.
But as you were saying, what we can't overlook is how it's disproportionately so in Native communities and how, especially targeting women and girls, how that has occurred to this astronomical degree. So that really needs the attention.
Yeah, you're right. And I really hope that the story helps with that. And if it brings people in, brings their eyes in, and then they come away feeling like, oh, we need to do something, then I think that the book is a success to me.
Absolutely. Just planting those seeds and beginning to see that grow and move forward and expand and see those changes. And while we're talking about teenagers, we know that this just is a situation for all of us, regardless of our age. And the book is written in such a way that I, as an older adult, really appreciate it. It's maybe it's because we appreciate stories, but the way that you've written it, it is young adult, but it is definitely for all ages.
Yeah, I hope so. I would really love to bring in as many people as I can. And yeah, I've heard from a lot of adults that they enjoy it and they feel it's for a broad age.
Yes. But written about teenagers, I hope, and you've got, what is it, a reading guide on your website, study guide? I forget the
Yeah.
term.
Yeah, we have educators' guides for teachers and classrooms.
Yes. So I hope, really sincerely hope, that teachers will pick up on this, that there's a way that this will be brought into classrooms as a key point of conversation at that level, because there too, I think it can be so relatable to young people.
Yeah, I really hope for that too, to shine the light. And because I worked really hard on these characters to make them feel, just to bring out their emotions and to take everyone on a journey. Like each of the four characters is going on their own journey. And I think it'll be really fun for a lot of people to read.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely. I certainly had that experience, and I'm so grateful that I am in this position that I get to learn about these books and yourself as the author and have these conversations. I'm just fortunate to be in this place at this time, but in doing so, hoping to get across the message to others that this is available and this is important, as well as being entertaining. So, that's an interesting combination. And I think, if we can be entertained while also heightening our awareness, really is a gift that you possess, Ka.
Thank you. I tried really hard to walk that line. I knew it would be a bit of a tightrope walk in trying to bring in this very serious, real issue while also creating, a page turner where you just need to see what happens. And it was a fine balance to find.
I I can appreciate that because uh, as we talk about it being an important issue and being also entertaining, there is a balance to find, and I feel you've accomplished it because it was you've treated the subject along with the characters in such a respectful way, getting across this message that it feels so authentic.
Thank you. I think I really did that through my characters. I because what they're feeling is real. The cases in Looking for Smoke are fictional, but the emotions that the characters are bringing in with their pain, their anger, this thirst for justice they have, that is real. Real natives out there are feeling that right now. And these characters are fighting for their families despite the costs. They're fighting for justice for their murdered friend, and they are demanding that their voices are heard. And that is real. And I think that is how I found the line on how to be sensitive and respectful and to make it a gripping, entertaining thriller is through my characters. I let them shine the light, and I hope it works.
Well, yes, I along with you, but I feel through my own experience that it is working, and I just see its relevance. Like thinking again of bringing to classrooms material, subject matter that is really contemporary and really an issue, having kids, youth, students discuss it and have that opportunity. The vehicle of literature, of books, allows that to happen. And I mean, the hope is that it brings about change. It really causes us to think and to act.
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope this book is like a window. I mean, I think that is where we get so much of the joy and the fulfillment from reading is it's like a window into another culture, another world, into an issue that we'd like to learn more about. So ultimately, I guess my biggest hope is that Looking for Smoke is a window into this issue, and it will bring about some sort of change or some sort of change in heart for people.
And thinking of that window, I also appreciated how the setting was in the summer during Indian days, so like a big festival that's going on, and seeing parts of the culture, learning that as well. I mean, is an important byproduct to having that experience and gaining understanding, isn't it?
Yeah. And I really, like I said, I have so much pride in the Blackfeet culture, and I really wanted to show that. And it inspired nearly everything in this book. Like I said, I put in a lot of my own experiences and childhood memories into these characters and this setting. And I wanted to honor my community and my culture. And I also wanted to honor my family as I wrote it. And I did that in one way through using a lot of their names throughout the book. Like Looking for Smoke is actually the name of my fifth great grandfather.
So isn't that wonderful to really kind of pay respect, give honor to previous generations, to your heritage?
Yeah, it was really special to be able to put so much of that, my family and myself, into this book.
Well, I think you've just scored a home run. Is it that? You hit a home run. Maybe that's what it is with doing that. I do. I can't say enough how much I really appreciate Looking for Smoke. I appreciate our conversation so that I trust we're going to reach other listening ears, open hearts to get the copy of the book. And of course, see you at one of the events coming up during this week. On Friday, you said, at Barnes and Noble, Northgate.
Yes, that's right.
And that's at
6 p.m.
6 p.m. And then Saturday, it's Olympia.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Browser.
At Browsers. Great. Well, again, my deepest thanks to you, K.A., for your work, for your talent, for bringing this book forth, for, the I'm sure it was blood, sweat, and tears that went into it over time. Right.
In a long time.
And I hope that we're going to see more coming from you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I do have a couple books that I'm working on, so hopefully more soon.
Excellent. Well, best of luck with all of that, and hopefully we'll then have another conversation sometime in the near future. Well,
yeah, I look forward to that. Thank
Wonderful.
you so much.
You're so welcome. Be well.
You too.
That brings us to the end of a very full hour of Inspirational Women with K.A. Cobell and Sunday Morning Magazine with Michelle Didio and Joyce Modi. I'm Kate Daniels, your host, and I greatly appreciate your sharing this hour with me and these special guests. For details you might have missed or information you'd like to know, please just send me an email, kated@warm1069.com, and I will get right back to you. Also, if you'd like to listen again or just share these important stories with your family and friends, find the podcast on our Warm 1069 webpage. Just click on the Listen tab, then Podcasts, then either of the show names, and then look for the guest names. I now wish you and your family a day of more consciousness about our personal life, about our health, and of the health of the community and individuals who are suffering. Have a week of the same, and then please plan to join me again next weekend for another hour of Sunday Morning Magazine and Inspirational Women on Warm 1069. Good morning this first weekend of June.